Boom. Yeah. I don't have any music. I'm bobbing to what's in my head. And if you guys check the caption, talking about evolved men and women having code. So it's gonna get interesting. Could get interesting. I know who's gonna jump in and have a say, but you're more than welcome to come on. I'm gonna hang out here for a little bit. Hey, I gotta be careful about the music. Hang on. How y'all doing? You hear me fine? Cool. All right, so we got one person who I got, man. Hey, y'all gonna have to comment so I can see who I got, cause I just can't look at this little one eye person, just the one eye emoji, and I'm trying to figure out who it is. Maybe the first one is the see who the first person is. Make sure you share this on your social media too. So, hey, I'm working on getting some music and all the other extra stuff. I'm in a very cold place, but we're gonna get through it, man. We got to get some smoke in this place, man, for the right reasons. So, if y'all want better intros, I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all a chance. See that ticker down there, the cash out. If you want better production, go ahead and invest in your boy. We got a lot of good stuff coming. Got a lot of good group economics talk, a lot of full circle relationships, you know, where people have progressed. People have progressed and just gotten better over time. Hmm. This is why you do sound check. So can you hear me? See, that's why we gotta have participation. So I can see you guys gotta help me with my production. Let's see here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right here. I gotta play some music, man. It's impossible to do without music. It's whack. Yeah. Yeah. It's whack without music. Man, so we've been having a conversation about, you know, women not having any code, and it's for a bunch of different reasons, but we're gonna try to push the conversation forward towards solutions. And we're gonna talk about evolved men and women having code. Are you evolved? You know, just something to think about. Because, what happens when you get your thing together, your life together, and then, you know, that other stuff doesn't apply anymore, right? So if it doesn't apply anymore, what's the next thing you get to think about? You know, like because that was a big part of your brain that was occupied, over stuff that you couldn't control. So, hey, if you guys can hear me, go ahead and just leave me some comments. You know what I'm saying? We'll get to some good stuff in a little bit, but that was just one of the things that was on my mind earlier, because yeah, we've been identifying problems, really good at that. You know what I'm saying? And as in my book, The Code, um, we have to start finding solutions, and that's the whole point in having conversations. Is to, you know, shorten the distance between the problem and the solution. You know, and we got to start having that type of conversation. And I think that we have to start using certain terminology to change the direction of what we think about and what we commit our time and energy to, which is wrapped up with emotions too. So balancing the friction between those, or the relationship between them rather, is an attempt to just reprogram the mind. So I got to thinking about what type of conversation would you have to uh, produce solutions, because we've seen a lot more conflict than active solutions being presented in real time. So I started thinking about it, and I was like, well, let's just call it evolved, because we all want to become a greater version of ourselves. And in order to do that, you have to evolve. Well, evolution is the description of it all. So have we not evolved past, the pointless outcomes of arguments where we don't all the time agree? I think we have to sit down and start assessing the utility of the discussion, and the weight of it, to see what we're wasting our time on, you know, and maybe stop saying wasting time and just repurpose our time, repurpose our energy, actually dedicate time to doing the work to manifesting, the success that we are capable of creating. Man, I think that this is just the perfect time to, you know, be what your resources allow you to be. Um, you got to have a lot of flexibility, and I wish everyone, um, like the best luck possible to get themselves ready for the change that we're going to all experience when it comes down to where we are economically in this country. And economics is the gateway for us to have true freedom, you know. So I just want to have my part in the dialogue for cooperation, and let people understand that from a revolutionary point of view, this is the time where we get to turn the tide. We got our own narrative, and we've earned that space. Everybody want to talk about coming together. That's what we're doing right now. It's an attempt to practice some group economics, trade some resources, and grow so we can evolve together, because change is coming whether you accept it or not. It's already here. So today, let's talk about the solutions to, solving our problems. So, but I'll sit back for a minute, let that marinate, listen to a little music, and hopefully my stream doesn't get cut off, because there's some YouTube right stuff and copyrights. I'm not trying to have that happen. What's good, y'all? Word. Y'all hear me okay? Let me get some comments. What we got going on over here? Hmm. Hey, man, I appreciate you guys jumping in. Hey, repost the link. Take that thing, copy it, and text it. You know, um, send it all kind of ways. So I apologize for my lack of production on music. I don't own my own music just yet, but that'll be changing soon, I'm sure. Um, but yeah, it's kind of dry right now, but it's gonna get good, because we're gonna talk about producing solutions. You know, speaking of solutions, that's my brand, Vinziant Rental Solutions. I don't have, you know, no limitations on what I can provide solutions with if you work from a solutions based mindset. So that's the way I like to think of it. We're gonna find a way to say yes. Hey, shout out to TGH. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what Kevin at? What Big B Nation at? Man, y'all guys are showing up. So, man, we got a lot of good stuff going on. The resource center is making the connections in the neighborhoods to, you know, set up future COVID testing sites. So that's a much needed thing that we need to have in our community. So we're working on that, and we're gonna keep you guys posted on where we can network, and so we can expand the help that this community needs. Um, y'all see the Cash App down there, right? So some of y'all been following me on social media for a minute, and I have decided I'm going to take my step into making some merchandise, and I really appreciate the feedback that I've been getting from all of you that have seen the videos, the pics, and everything. I greatly appreciate that. Just trying to give, what I'm saying, a little piece that's inside my brain in a different type of way, man. I want to be able to say I did it all. So, hey, why not? So, um, keep shooting, like I'll never stop shooting, man. So that's what I'm here for. And, I think that that's what I try to leave on everything that I do, you know. Shout out to UPC, Urban Power Connections. Yeah, really doing solid work in the community. You know what I'm saying? Entrepreneurs taking out that time, and work on something that's greater than themselves. That's what we all should do. If we did that, I think we'd be pretty good. But you got to start with yourself. And that's kind of like the center of gravity for this conversation tonight that we're going to have about, you know, evolved men and women have code. Evolved. And what I mean by evolved is that the conversation that started all of this was called "Women Don't Have Any Code." So I wrote a couple things about it, got some feedback, some reaction, and been very, very, like consistent across the board, as to, you know, what type of code do women have? And the answer is none. Um, but the narrative changes because you always meet someone that's an exception because you cite, whatever you're saying based on your personal experience. And then someone breaks that cycle. And that's the opportunity for you to learn and incorporate some new information. So I met quite a few people that um, have said they've encountered some women like that, right? But when you actually live it, is way different. So there's an evolved version of ourselves that does right by each other, but you have to be doing the work now to get towards it. So if you did, if you went without code, realize you didn't have code and created code for yourself, the creation of the code should be to solve the next step, right? So we should be in a solutions based dialogue, because how long are we going to talk about what we don't have when we're already doing, you know? So I really want to see the conversation push forward, you know, and, I really want us to talk about it, because we've had enough of the cycles of identifying a problem over and over again. To what end? Who knows? But, you know, it's time to think about what we're willing to do. What we got over here? It's a raffle a suit. Yeah, I could do that. I could definitely raffle a suit. I can definitely do that. That's a really good idea. Thank you. Who else got some good ideas, man? I'm all about the solutions. I have arrived. Hey, man, you guys tell me about what's going on. But getting this chat. So I'm new to using the StreamYard, but it's a pretty good app. You got to upgrade your tools sometimes, right? So I don't know how far this is gonna go, but I know it's gonna be worth following. You know, so um, hey, you see the number down at the bottom of the screen? You know what I'm saying? You go ahead and give me a call if you riding around and listening, and we can run it. So a couple of things we got going on. Going to a Black Student Alliance Expo down at IDEA in Austin, and that's going to take place on February the 17th. It's going to be a big event, big chance to, serve the community again. This weekend is the CEO Youth League brunch. Yep. So my man Tony, you know, uh, get with him. Tony really the real, and we can, get you plugged in to go check out this experience that's hosted for the men. So it'll be a good chance to fellowship and network. Um, Networking, that's what we're doing right now. That's what this is meant to do too. Because there's a lot of problem solvers in the comments. I've had extensive conversations. You know what I'm saying, with a lot of these people over here. So you, hey, treat the comments as a mixer. I know it's kind of weird, but hey, I'm telling you, like, when you seek solutions, you get problem solvers that come to you. Um, I'm a firm proponent of, what I'm saying, work towards the solution or you're a part of the problem. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to make sure I ain't part of the problem. But on the evolved um, man and woman having code, right? I think it's just when if you look around and you can associate, like if you could just go with the art imitates life concept of things, and we just say let's just use the example of either the Matrix or any other show like Westworld, or where things seem to be like synthetic, you know, and made up, and then it slowly gets peeled away from you over and over and over again. That some people are who they are, but you still aren't quite sure of what your journey is. You know what I'm saying? Because once you start to recognize those people for who they are and where they fit in your life. You know what I'm saying? There's some changes. Oh, yeah. Oh man. Oh, I this man right here.
Calling about that.
No,
I ain't calling about. I'm for real. Not even calling about that. But it's mutual respect. It's mutual.
It is. It is.
You know what I'm saying? It's all good. No, but for real, the reason why I called is I got an MLC slot at Hood, but I'm in Louisiana now. I'm a OC.
Hey,
So what I'm looking at.
hey, hold up. Hey, I'm live right now. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want all your business. I thought that's what you was calling about. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, you can't be this petty, can you? But yes, you are. No. It's all good, man. So if you want to say something, you can say something. You know.
No.
Yeah.
What I need to talk to you is like some intelligent black man to intelligent black man.
Gotcha.
So.
Oh well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, but But anyway, enjoy your live. Hey man, if you gonna be busy tomorrow?
I don't know, man. Might just shoot me a text.
Okay, I'll shoot you a text before I call you tomorrow. See what you up to. Okay.
All right, bro. I'll let you.
Yeah, take it easy.
Yep.
Later.
Man, see that? I thought the man was getting ready to do me. I ain't gonna talk about it. You know what I'm saying? But it was related to a particular sports event that did not go in the favor of my team, and he is a fan of the other team. We won't mention the game, but congratulations to them. That's all I got to say about that. Roll Tide. But we talking about evolving, right? And in the sense of like we've been talking about the problem. We're really good at the problem. You know what I'm saying? But what does it look like when we do it? What does a solution look like? What do the participants look like? You know, and you know, how do we approach it in the right way? So tonight, like as we start to get further into the dialogue, I'm gonna open my book. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna read a couple pieces out of it, and then I like to have some participation. So if anybody wants to jump in and you know uh, dialogue one on one, come up on the screen. You're more than welcome to. Matter of fact, got you right here. Stand by. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of y'all don't have my hey, go add my business page, please, too. Yeah. We gotta drive some more traffic to that thing, man. I've been, what I'm saying, working on getting my social media arrangement stuff up and, trying to you know, get my networks cross threaded the right way so I can elevate to something else. And it's been real technical, but it's been fun. I'm more of a in the weeds kind of person when it come down to how I do my networking and just setting up I guess plans or I'm knocking down obstacles. You know what I'm saying? So, oh, hey Jalissa, no, we don't have a website just yet for the merch. This is going a whole lot uh faster, than I thought. Hey Julia, yes, it's open. Come on up here. That's where I'm at right now. Let's see. And I would raffle a suit. So, man, it would be awesome if you guys could go find the post and what I'm saying and reshare that post with the merch and what I'm saying, get some honest feedback on it. I got a lot of great ideas. I think ideas that I'm very excited to get out. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Great is yet to be seen. So I want to be complete with something. So in evolution, you complete a process, and one of the things that's always significant is that when you start thinking about what you've accomplished, when the last time you've accomplished something big, a lot of times you have to go back. You know what I'm saying? In high school, some people haven't accomplished anything since high school, or maybe even before that. You know, and then at some point you got to challenge yourself again because you got to see if you still got it. And that's the iron sharp as iron. You submit yourself to some task that's greater than you. You know what I'm saying? Or some goal that you set for yourself. After you accomplish it, you got to set something else because without without setting something else right behind it, where does your purpose come in at? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, at least that's just the way I think. I aim at the next thing that I can do, within reason, and and I think about how it makes me move every day and where I spend my time at, and even if I give my time to it, what am I doing with it? So um, I can't help but think about fixing problems. I'm a fixer, you know. So I like to find a way to have the intelligent conversation about the thing that we know we have to fix, and we know that that's a problem. I want to get old with y'all, because these are foundational conversations that are going to open doors for a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, that want to be successful, because we're here to do it on behalf of those that can't, because that's what we are obligated to do. So if you want to thrive in a community, you want your community to support you, you have to be part of the community. You have to do something to it. You have to contribute to it. You want to benefit from it. So nobody else is going to come do it. So why aren't we maximizing this ability to communicate with each other and share so much experience and so many different tangible perspectives that can be quickly integrated into a solution that benefits everybody? Something to think about, because we have, you know, nothing to lose, literally. So we have to evolve. And that's my thoughts on the, the evolved man and evolved woman having code, because somebody has to understand where their strengths are and get behind just their strengths instead of solely focusing on improving their weaknesses. You know, it's a desire to improve something that you're not that good in. But if not handled the right way, you can make other things fail by overcommitment to something, you know. So you want to have a healthy commitment to it when you do it, not a knee-jerk response, something that you can't sustain. So that's what we've been trying to get evolved out of knee-jerk reactions without follow-on tactics that can't be sustained. So we'll take a break, wait for one of y'all to call, and we can run it. Mm. Sorry about that, folks. Got to check this heater, man. up here in this little cold corner of Harker Heights, known as the UPC headquarters. It's also a resource center, and it's a safe haven for people who want to be a solid part of the community. You know, it's here to help folks. So come on over and see us at 102 West Veterans, located on the corner of Ann and West Veterans. So come hang out with me, come chop it up, come see our books, merchandise. You know, speaking of the merchandise, I'm really excited about that because I wasn't finished. Man, look, I want to take this all the way, and I'm gonna need y'all support for real. You know, what we got? What's up, bro? Oh, 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 we lost Tony. Hang on. He'll be calling right back in a second. Man, yeah. So I'm gonna need y'all true, authentic support for the things that I'm trying to do, man. Look, I'm a self-made man. Like straight up, I did it the hard way, which was the right way. And a lot of people don't know how hard it is to do things the right way. You know what I'm saying? So like, I represent the person that didn't do the fast money route. You know what I'm saying? Made the decisions that they made and then changed it up once they got the right vibe. You know? What's up, brother?
What's good with you, man?
Man, I'm chilling, man. You know I got you on up here, right?
Yeah. I had it on the computer and I was trying to call in, but it's like a delay, so I had to cut the computer volume down because I would be thrown out because I don't know why. For some reason, it's a delay. But yeah, I know I'm on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man,
What's good?
man, what's good? I was already thinking about as I started working through the events that I know, you know what I'm saying, had to get announced. I already knew I was gonna get a chance to talk to you, man, and just follow up and see how you was doing.
Yeah. Nah, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's well, you shout out CEO. Usually, that's the movement too. But it's this one right here is Black Man Brunch is sponsored by Wealthy Gangster. That's my network. You
Yes,
know what I'm
sir.
saying? So,
Where can they find
so
all
you,
your information at on that?
yeah, on Facebook, you go to CEO Youth League page. You can tap in right there. We just got the website up. That's 254CEOYouthLeague.com. Show you about the curriculums, all the activities we're doing with the youth, and how we're building them up.
Yeah.
And for the Wealth is Gangster website will be done shortly, but it'll be wealthisgangster.com. And you can find that on Facebook too.
Mm-hmm.
But what we doing Sunday is just about us getting together, as black men. It's a Black Man Brunch, and we're gonna make this like a monthly thing. It's gonna be a dinner, brunch, or breakfast at least once a month, and we're just gonna be politicking things that we need to do. A bunch of different entrepreneur businessmen getting together, talking about what we can do as a community, how we can help each other, how we can sharpen each other, and just building brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like true networking.
Yeah.
Huge networking opportunity. Um, and going into it with the mindset of getting something out of it. For the right reasons. So it's a lot.
It's all about impact. So you gotta have the impact.
Yeah, impact is absolutely necessary, and you got to find a way to be visible. You know, and then when you're visible, you got to make the right play. It sounds as robotic as it is, but like it don't take nothing but a small stumble. You know what I'm saying? And and you got to be willing to overcome that. So the the conversation is going to be very, very good and enlightening because it's going to bring a lot of different perspectives all in the one spot, man.
And that's what we need. Like I said, I was telling the other day, like it's an event, but I'm like, this needs to be second nature that we just have meetings like this. You know what I'm saying? From Temple to the Lean. This one held in Temple and Cultivate. It's the new event space that we have out here, and it's going to be going on from 10 to 12 Sunday. And the entry fee is $20, but it comes with the breakfast, and we're gonna have a little mimosa and orange juice and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and like it's gonna be a black man. The food is prepared by a black man. It's just gonna be a black man show, and just a space where we can get out to one another. We need more space for strong alpha male type black men. You know what I'm saying? So we're just trying to create that.
Yeah, man. So, is this a no exception? Like, there's no way that there's no women involved, right?
No, not at this one. Like Cultivate, we were having all kind of activities, and this is just because I think a lot of people got it like this. What we're gonna be doing at Cultivate. Cultivate is an event space. We're gonna be having crypto conferences, business conferences. We got a speed date night coming out. We got all kind of different events. This particular event is just a black man.
Got
you know what I'm saying? But yeah. We're gonna be having like a couple events where it's a couple things. We're gonna be having all women conferences. I'm already talking to a lot of different women that's gonna be like panel and all that. So it's gonna be multiple different types of things. This is just something that I started. For me, just something that I know that we need as black men.
Man, yeah, okay. Hey, look, it's rooted in the right reasons, man.
Yeah. So, I just wanted to tap in with you. I seen you on. I seen you tap in out. So I just want to show love, man. I love what you're doing. I love the consistency because that's the main thing.
Bruh,
we gotta do it. It's gonna grow with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, and that's what I always just want to impart on people, man. Like, you gotta put out what you want back. You know what I'm saying? You gotta live it too, and that's the other part of it. And it don't matter, you know what I'm saying, how you see it. Like, you invest in yourself when you invest in people. So that's been my personal experience. No matter what type of success I've had that other people could gauge me on, like, I just had the, you know what I'm saying, I had the joy from participating in the process, you know what I'm saying, and actually seeing when we can actually put black people together and do business and it go full circle, you know what I'm saying?
That's what we got to do. It's no exceptions. We have to. That's why I come to Killeen quick. I'll pull up on you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just something that has to be done, man. We're not that far away, but sometimes those few miles can seem like forever. There'll be a year or you see somebody and you're right, like 15, 20 minutes away, and you're not breaking bread and really doing business. You know what I'm saying? And so really, we gotta be intentional on stopping that and changing that narrative.
Yeah, man. I had a conversation with my man Troy earlier, and one of the things that we discussed was like, you think about all the time, like, you feel like you're behind, right? And then you snap out of it and you're like, nah, you're not behind. You're right where you're supposed to be, so you can actually apply the information that you know. You know what I'm saying? Because if you gave a 10-year younger version of yourself the same things you know now, you might not be able to action it as efficiently as you like to do. You know what I'm saying? So you have to look at the different pieces that came into play over that period of time. So I'm glad that you know where you're supposed to be right now. You know what I'm saying? And what you're doing. Because it's a lot of people, man, that are still trying to figure it out. Like, literally trying to figure it out, because what was thought to be there by the time that we got to the age that we are is not. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't exist anymore. Man, look. So, like, which goes back to the topic tonight, right? Evolved men and evolved women have code, because we don't want to talk about what we don't have anymore. We need to discuss how do we push the narrative towards solutions of, solving the problem of not being on code. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So
you got something.
Yeah, because in my first book, it was in 2018. So it was like the height of cancel culture, a whole lot of you know what I'm saying, valid angry feelings, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like after everybody had the chance to really pick a side through the election process, all the way through the presidency to the Capitol being overran, there's been like a distinct difference in people, you know. And then you sprinkle some COVID on it, we're evolving. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like natural selection. Like people that's people like that you got in your life now that was nowhere in your life, you know what I'm saying, like 3 years ago.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? You don't see that as being like really wild. Like I feel like we like in a social evolution right now where people on certain frequencies are really linking up with each other, you know?
Yeah.
And it just come in and just showing up and then going to work right away. So when you start evolving and paying attention to your surroundings like that, right? You become a person that can forgive, you know what I'm saying? You have a little bit more empathy and understanding, right?
Yeah.
So I think that an evolved person would recognize that. And that's what we are trying to do is evolve because we've already identified it. Like we got the reasonable people in the discussion now. You see what I'm saying? That was my intent. Is just to get the reasonable people here first. Then we can start figuring out what's broken and what we can fix and prioritizing it. Because everybody got feelings, but all feelings ain't priority. You know what I'm saying? Don't make us choose between a burning building and you know what I'm saying and a baby.
Yeah. Got to. Like
Yeah. You see how you had to pause for a second?
Yeah. For real, because it's real.
Yeah.
We gotta. When we talk about solutions, we gotta get to it.
Mm-hmm. And you know, and a lot of things just triggered those thoughts anyway. You know, like that apartment building that burned down in New York. It was like yeah, it was like 17 people got burned up in that thing.
I think yeah, that's the number I think. I think old girl she paid for it. So I think it was like 17. I don't know if that was it or what, but I heard. Yeah, I heard it was.
Yeah, it wasn't no small number, but we shouldn't even be in situations like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, how them buildings built, man. It's like a cage up in there to get up out of there.
Yeah, and so I'm glad that the work that you're doing is a part of the conversation of changing the narrative. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's the only way. You know, it's no other way. We gotta make even when we're making money. You know, and doing all that. We can't just make money. Like all of my things, you know, I always tell you, man, my rules are we got to be able to feed ourselves, house ourselves, clothe ourselves, educate ourselves, and protect. So all the businesses I'm into, yeah, I'm in it to make money, but it's in those survival, it's in those things to survive as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so it goes together for me. I know, you know, some other people, they just get their money and then they just, you know, just have it in their life. But my life and get money is wrapped in surviving and create my own system within the system. So yeah, man, it's full time job. You know, I live this. I don't clock in and clock out of this. Like,
yeah, I know, man. Hey, look, and you can't. And that's the thing that it takes that you have to look at. You have to change your terminology so you can evolve. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and when you start recognizing you changing your terminology, you change the way you see things. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a big difference when somebody says, "Oh, somebody's plotting, planning, strategizing, or scheming." Each one of those got a different feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you dialed into if words mean things to you, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or if written words mean something different to you, you know, that comes with a different vibe. You know what I'm saying? So I think that we got to start being more intentional about where we want to go because where we want to go is going to involve the planning and the solution, you know what I'm saying, conversations that's going to take us to a more comfortable and civilized version of our future, right?
Yeah.
So that's the dope thing about what the work you're doing right there. You putting architects in the same space with some other doctor or somebody else that might need to, you know, like like find a way to get their idea into the right lane, because we're almost just one play away, man. Because social media's changed a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? And we got to use it the right way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We got to. I tell people, so my business is not my business, so I focus on putting just about changing the narrative. Everything I do, you know what I'm saying? Everything I post, everything that goes into how we from the garden to the bees to whatever you see me messing with, on down to the scrap yard or wherever you might see me posting it. It's all because I want to change the way we look at things for one, and just change the way the youth see things. I want to change what's supposed to be cool, because it's just about just getting money. I can tell you a million other ways to get some real money without even having to ever look at no street corner. You know what I'm saying? That's not the way to get no real money, but that's all they ever seen. So that's what I'm saying. So when I'm posting, this is what I'm trying to show. Like, yeah, I come from that world. I know that I've been there, done that. This is way cooler with no trouble involved.
Oh man, yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's like, man, you just try to give as much as you can. You know what I'm saying? Because you could see that all it takes is, creating one solid, visible example of what it looks like when we put down, you know, our conflicts and pick up our own solutions. You know what I'm saying? Because like
we
people,
gotta get out our own
you
way.
got to get out our own way. But you know what I'm saying? But we know that, But like the other phrase is, you know what I'm saying? The way I just phrased it, like we got to put our conflicts down. We are our own resistance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In some ways, like
No.
even if you got the conditions that you have, you also have the access to the information to change your life by yourself. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna require you to have to do some things. You got to do something you never done to get something you never had.
You got to, man. You gotta envelope. You
Yeah,
gotta get in that. You gotta get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
man. Look, if you comfortable, you don't stop growing. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
Like,
Believe me, I do stuff and I push myself and I have this big vision, big goal, and I'm always like nervous to make certain moves. But I realize that's just where we're from. You just gotta get used to being uncomfortable, man. Especially when you're trying to do some real, legacy type stuff.
yeah,
It's gonna be moments. You're gonna have your self doubt moments. You gotta push through it.
yeah, man. Yo, absolutely. Like, and when you look at it, you can't go back and unravel it anyway. So you might well turn up. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna have something to say. Hey, man, look, you got to hear my mouth. You know what I'm saying? So it is, especially because I ain't have to hurt nobody to do. You know what I'm saying? What we doing? That's the part that I'm excited about. Like, I know where we're going. I know what it's gonna look like. You know what I'm saying? Because it's part of my vision, which is, out of the code. And all I did was just jump in, man. Um, who knows where we would have been or could have been or should have been, but I know where we are right now. And I know, like,
we're gonna keep.
Yeah, we ain't got no limits, man.
We're gonna be about how we move from right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, like, this conversation won't be foreign. This is gonna be everybody's conversation at some point, because why not? Why shouldn't
it? There's nothing that we can't do nothing but win by pursuing that move. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Can't do nothing but win.
Yep.
Because that's like people like we can all individually do our thing, get money, and we can all individually do that. But when I'm out the power and breaking down a system that had our people held forever under, we can't do that independently. I don't care how much money you got, how smart you think you is. You can't do what I'm trying to do by yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, other people, I don't knock you. Some people just want to get their money and go home and chill. I ain't knocking that. My legacy is way bigger than that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Man. Yeah.
Like, but I don't know, Jill, man. I just want to get on here and show you some love. We did our interview last time, and about a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
want to be intentional, keep reaching out, making sure we keep connecting and just keep building on what we say we're gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Like I gotta get on yours the next time you go live, man, and be available for that. Or you know what I'm saying, or at least schedule something, man. I think this kind of works. I think because you and I are equally busy, you know.
Yeah.
So
and like I say, Sunday gonna be a good space when we get out. We gonna definitely be talking about the code because we start the book club at this meeting too. You know what I'm saying? So
good.
We definitely could. This gonna be like one of the principal books of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we bring it out, get all the guys that's making their moves, and say they speech, and just make sure we cross threads, eat a good little brunch, sit back and chill, and then we in and out. And then and I'm gonna show you all the space because we got some future events that we talking about doing together and all that type of stuff. So we don't do it. We just gonna politic, man, and just do things that black men should be doing on a regular, man. Just building, and we get together and we get together for sports. We get together to go to the bar, but we don't ever get together to just sit in politics and talk about what we can do to impact our community.
Yeah, man. Well, I think that's what we already do. So what we just need to do is socialize the conversation, man. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
Like we gotta, and that's the narrative change. You see how quickly like when we look at it differently and put a different word in front of it, and we intentional about that, we are actively participating in the evolution, man. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate us evolving together and working, on helping our community evolve.
For sure, man. Well, I'll tap in with you some more. I'll hit you up, but so I look forward to seeing you, and and come on down Sunday, man. Let's politic for a minute, and build on everything we doing already.
Absolutely, sir. I'm gonna holler at you.
Salute, man. Keep doing your thing. I'll talk to you later.
Yes, sir. So that was my man right there. And Julia is looking for me. Hey, I'm sorry, y'all. I can't text and type like I used to. I don't know when that happened. A lot of y'all experiencing that too. You remember you used to be able to just talk and text and everything. Yeah. Evita, thank you for checking out the audio. I appreciate that, man. So my man Tony, hard worker in the community, and he all about it. Let's see what look like. Julia trying to come up here. We'll have a good conversation. She come through. I like to let her run it. She talked to y'all about this, this clinical psychology stuff. Hang on. Hang on, y'all. I'm coming. All right. Man, look. So yeah. Julia. I think I already said, yeah, I don't multitask that well. I gotta get better at this, but I will. I'm a little rusty since 2019. You know what I'm saying? When I first started doing this, and I just kind of like just turn on and go solo. But like, I want to sit down and just, get you guys to, see what we got going on with our group economics conversation evolving. For real estate and everything else. So, and I have a visitor. It is my good friend. What's going on?
Y'all gotta tell people. It's if we got camera drive had me all up back here. I was like, hold on, bro. This look like this look like that. This ain't it. This ain't it.
Come on, let's see that.
So like where we at?
Yeah. Let's see if we spin it. Look. Get a little bougie.
Little bougie.
Yeah, a little bougie with it.
Oh, you gotta put on just a little bit. Just a little bit.
There you go. Your camera's right here. So, how you been?
I'm better. I'm better now that
All
whatever I had.
all of the shenanigans.
Flu, Rona, whatever they want to call it.
Yeah.
At
Yeah,
this point in time.
you don't even know what it is these days. I'm
I
over here
don't either.
drinking kombucha right now.
Yeah, I need to go get some sea moss.
So tonight, right, one of the topics that I came towards was about the evolved man and the evolved woman having code, because we've had the code conversation and we agree largely across that, just for practical reasons, not anything rooted in feelings, not personal experience, and then comparing personal experiences with other people who fit, the same frequency, we can make a general assessment that there's a large conversation about women not having any code. But that conversation has to lead to a solution, so we don't quickly get wrapped into finger pointing, name calling. You know what I'm saying? This is a phase thing. We're not here to stir the pot, to not, use the dialogue to create, a solution. So I got to thinking about it. People are improving every day, right? So yeah, so you should be.
2022, right? Everybody?
Yeah,
new
yeah.
year, new me?
Yeah, reasonable people.
New year, new me?
Yeah. Reasonable people are working on self-improvement all the time.
Right. You should be.
So it's not unreasonable to think that that person from 4 years ago is a new individual now. So whether they improved or not, you know what I'm saying? Because time is a variable that does not always favor everybody at the same time.
What they chose to improve.
Yeah, exactly.
What we think people should improve.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So, like, we can't, bottom line is we can't get into the conversation of predicting other people's paths.
Right.
But evolved people come out of that process, and they should be living the solution.
Good or bad.
Good or bad.
Good or bad.
So we have to start kind of like thinking about the evolved version of ourselves. And we do that every day. That's why, like you say, I have some certain conversations you don't have anymore, certain people you don't talk to anymore, because of that threshold that you set. There's a boundary, right? So what does code look like for the evolved woman?
I can't speak for everybody. So I'll only speak for myself. Because as an evolved woman, because I can tell you right now, how I was at 18 to 25 to my 30s to now 44. If I look at the evolution of myself, baby, trust me, it was a long, rocky road. And not to say that I still don't possess, because I always tell people, you don't technically get rid of habits and traits.
Yeah.
You just tend to either bury them or convert them into something else.
Yeah.
So, my purpose was to take those negative traits about myself and convert them into money.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Why shouldn't I?
Yeah, why shouldn't
So there's so many facets, that the evolved woman could go from.
Yeah.
Child rearing, for those of us who are parents, being single, being married, divorced, education-wise. So there's, so many different facets that it's kind of hard to take that and wrap it all up into a pretty bow.
Of course.
And say that, oh, ladies, this is what you should look like at XYZ. Because the opportunities that I chose to seize, I'm not going to say the opportunities I had.
Yes.
Because everybody has opportunities. But it's what you choose to seize that makes the difference.
Yeah. What are you paying attention to?
Exactly.
Yes.
Because people go, oh, well, I never had that opportunity. Not every opportunity is meant for you.
Yes.
But did you seize the opportunities that were for you?
Yeah, because opportunities vary.
Exactly. Like
somebody might see a job at HEB as an opportunity where Somebody else may not, you know, or
that's their way to come up.
That's their way to come up, yeah.
You know, like myself, I brought myself what I consider to be. I have 2 master's degrees, doctorate, working on.
Right.
Don't even, honestly, I dropped my doctorate. Everybody, why did you drop your doctorate? I want you all to understand something. What it would take me to get paid for me to go all these for the next six years.
Yeah.
Because I like to speed stuff up. I'm always trying to find, hey, how quick can I get this done?
Right.
You know, if I could chop this down to 4 years, can I? What can I do to, even when I was talking to my advisor, what can I do to get this to 4 years?
Yeah.
She was like, well, I don't care about what most people.
Yeah.
I'm not most people.
Right.
Okay. Let me do what I do. I'm done having kids and all of that other stuff. So I'm ready.
Yeah.
But I was working at Burger King and Slim Chickens at one point with my daughter. And everybody, you know, so I would meet people of varying, we'll say, educational careers and things like that. And they're like, so, because every now and then you have to let people know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you gotta kind of flex on them a little
bit.
Right,
just a smidge. I'm like, well, baby, let me bring you back to life. Okay, let me explain to you. You can't talk to everybody a certain kind of way.
Yes.
Because you think that if you are working here, that means that your level of understanding or anything is only here. Yeah. So a couple of people had to blast out the water.
Yeah.
You know, and why are you working here then? Even when I was working at the school as an aide, I said, let me make it clear, I'm retired.
Yeah.
So my decisions to work,
it's on you.
It's on me.
Yeah.
If I want to get up here and go work a $7.15 job, that's my decision.
Yeah.
Really, for me, it was, hey, this is my way to just get out and be amongst people.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to be out. I'm tired of sitting at home.
You had to get in motion.
Right.
Like, and especially when you want more. And the reality is that when you decide you want more, you are asking for more people to come into your path.
Right.
So you have to find a way to like people if people are going to be part of your process. Now, they gotta have some sort of interaction, you know, up to a certain point. So yes, I do understand the desire to get out.
But it was also, there's one thing I know I'm good at, and that's this mouth. I've been running my mouth probably since I came into this world.
Okay.
So I know I'm a personable person.
Yeah.
I like being around people. I like making people's day. I just like being, you know, in the thick of it with other people. Just, you know, just for me, just for my own. That's why I decided to become a clinical psychologist. I like working with people.
Yeah.
So it was easier to go find jobs where I knew I could have those interactions. And see, that's also a part of when you get evolved in your life, you seek out the things that make you happy.
Yes.
No matter where.
No matter where they are. Yeah.
Where they are.
That's true.
You know,
that's
so
true.
People, well, you've got all these degrees. Why are you here? At the school, because I like kids.
Yeah.
I wanted to be around kids. I had considered becoming a teacher. I just wanted to, you know, dip my pinky toe into it. See, you know, like, oh, okay, is this may or may not be for me. Because I'm not, and as we found out, I'm not the person that they were looking for to be a teacher.
Yeah.
You know, they want, you know, run around the corner, left, right. And I'm like, hold on, I make my own rules and I run by my own thing.
Yeah.
You know, I said, even when I used to work with doctors, and you got to call him a doctor. Does he call me? You know what I'm saying? Does he call me Miss Burns? No, he does not. He calls me by my first name. So since we're on a first name basis, so you have to put yourself in the environments that will lead you to where you need to be.
You have to be tested. And that's the thing. A lot of people are afraid to be tested.
Well, it's about failure.
And, you know, like a lot of people haven't completed anything or completed anything in a very long time, you know. And when you start adding it up, then there is a pattern. And if you're paying attention to your pattern, you should be paying attention to it to change it, to improve it, or to break it and get out of whatever that cycle is, because you'll probably have a pattern that's similar to somebody else that was in your family.
Well, I consider it stagnating growth.
Yeah.
Point blank, plain and simple. It's just being stagnant and growth. You know, people will get, well, you like me at this level, so why should I go any further? This is where everybody likes me at.
Man.
So the desire or the thought process of moving forward, even though When I talk to you all the time, I got all these dreams and goals and plans. And hey, bruh, next year I'm gonna be doing, or hey, hit me up in 6 months and see where I'm at and da 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 da. And everything sounds good in theory, because some people just like to talk about it so that other people can go and say, oh, yo, for real? Okay, well, look, let me know when you get on and when you do this and when you do that, I'll come follow you, X, Y, Z, da, 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 da. But they really have no intentions.
Nope.
Really have no intentions.
Nope.
And those, unfortunately, are the people that you cannot, and I do not.
Yeah.
I surround myself with everybody because I feel like, life is a circle.
Yeah.
And everybody has something, whether positive or negative. Everybody has something that they can add to my life.
Yeah, yeah.
So, positive people continue to motivate me, push me, do the things that I probably was being stagnant on. Negative people also do that, but negative people also, show me, well, what's my real personality? Who am I really?
Because if you start attracting a certain type of individual, that's your opportunity to check yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, and see what it is. And none of it is a bad thing.
No.
All of it is useful if you apply the observation of it to the way that you move. Because I'm like that. Like, I recognize where the most resistance has always been in my life, and I started recognizing it's not just them, it's me. And me recognizing that the thing I'm trying to accomplish shouldn't be as hard as it is, but it's because of the way I'm trying to get it done. So in some ways I had to pick and choose which people needed to even be around, knew about it, though, where I said it. Start, controlling that more, down to the 5 senses.
Your locus self-control. That's what it is. You have a locus self-control. I tell everybody, oh, I don't have control. No.
And I didn't even have that word, that terminology, until I just explained that. I can dissect it. I can go all the way down to it, but sometimes I don't have a word for it because I'm living in it, and to me, it's like it's coded into me. You know what I'm saying? And I feel really good about that, because I've talked to so many people that don't have a rudder.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're just out there floating.
Boat just.
Yeah, exactly. And
where's your paddle?
And being 42 years old, and I'm talking to my, people that's my age, and I'm like,
and
I don't even know how to help them.
And that's where it's so crazy at.
Yeah.
That here we are in our 40s. You're 42, I'm 44. And here we are in our 40s still trying to get people our age. I see men out here sagging pants, gangbanging. People I went to school with, bro. Are you really?
That's crazy.
Really? Hey, I got shot 10 times. How are you proud about that? I'm GDK to the world, blow up. Excuse me, sir?
Man, tell the people where you're from.
Well, I'm from Chicago.
Yeah.
So, if you hear me saying certain things, Latin Kings, GDK, things like that, Insane Vibe, you know what I'm saying? Those are all particular gangs and sets. And they're infiltrating out here now with the little foot soldiers that I call them. Because, everybody's got to come from somewhere and do something, whatever.
Oh, okay.
But, you get... when sitting down and talking to people, and all I hear is what we can't do. So once you hit me with 1, 2, too many, what we can't do, what we ain't fit to do, fixing us and all of that.
Shoulda, coulda.
I'm like, you know what, baby? I tell you what. The one thing I learned in life, everybody ain't gonna make it.
Nope. This sound like you read the book. Let me find out.
It's like everybody's not going.
It's in there.
Like I tell everybody cannot get on my train, even if it's at the station.
Man, look, and that's why I have like the book here. I'm gonna grab it in a second when we take a break. But that the part about everybody ain't gonna make it, that's just part of it, man. It's like I have a conversation where we talk about survival.
Yes.
And
in the wilderness,
we are all surviving at different levels of comfort. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, you know what I'm saying? It's an economic survival. You know what I'm saying? Because we are functioning in a capitalist structure. So economics is the language of it. So like life is algebra, it's problem solving every day. So if you got to do more math.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? You got to do more math than feelings.
Yes.
you know, like, if you're doing the math of it, and people say, well, you don't use algebra to cross the street. Yes, you do. You gauge speed of approaching vehicles, velocity. You know how fast you have to run,
motion,
how explosive you have to be.
Relative to time.
Tell me that that's not algebra. You have to solve for y.
Mm-hmm.
So in a capitalist society, algebra is probably closer to the language of how to navigate this thing.
Right.
So if we know that economics is always part of the conversation, and we know that there's also a shortage on where to go make money for certain people with certain skills,
right,
we have to evolve and learn something new in order to do that.
Right.
And in that evolution, we have to get with more like-minded people and create that that way forward a lot easier than ever before. You know, you got to think about what our ancestors did without the communication devices that we have. I mean, right, exactly. And now we're distracted with clout and attention. You know, so after spending decades flexing on just dumb shit, so like now these are the conversations that we should be having, whereas before these conversations were just over the phone,
right,
because there wasn't a place to publish, you know what I'm saying, the deepest parts of your mind, and then be able to see if there's somebody else out there thinking the same way.
Right, right.
Because people now with purpose have a way to get their thoughts out, and a way to bring people in. You know what I'm saying?
You tell people you can't gatekeep.
You can't.
What you have. Like I said, everybody has something to bring to the table. Like I said, whether it's positive or negative. Negative people will eventually weed themselves out because they feel it.
Natural selection.
You're right. You know, it's just the evolution of it, you know, because their negative feelings will take them out of the game.
Yeah.
You know, like I tell people all the time, if you're going to come into this environment, you have to come with an open mind. If you've already come with a preset, this probably is not going to work for you. No. Or whatever it is that we're trying to do, or whatever it is that we're trying to get ahead. I said, I understand some people, because you can't see the future. Yeah. So you can't see the struggle. You can't see the movement. You just can't see it. I used to tell my some of my clients, y'all get into I was like, you know, you go into a closed door, you go into a room, and you walk in there, and you start screaming for help. Nobody comes out to help you. You start jiggling the door, and you claim that the door is locked. Who's in the way?
It's you.
Exactly. And it's always going to be you.
Always.
So until you get out your own way, there's nothing. Because as you said earlier, you know, there was a time, you know, you having to face certain things within yourself and realizing that it's not just other people, it's you. I tell people that all the time. I am the victim of my own circumstances.
Man, look.
All the time. I don't need nobody to bring me down.
Right.
If I want to destroy my life, trust me, I am an agent of chaos.
Yeah.
For my own life. This is the things that we can do. These are the things. So to start providing answers, because as you and I have had multiple conversations about, you know, we discuss the issues just like with everybody. Everybody keeps coming up. Why can't Black people? You know, we've gone around this roundabout table 50 million times about why Black people cannot get ahead. Yeah, we've been here. We've done that. We're doing so that. Now start putting your solutions, and I mean viable solutions.
Yeah, stuff well thought out.
You know, you can't always just say, well.
Yeah, you want something taken seriously. Like if you feel like you can complain and have a detailed complaint, you should have an equally effective detailed solution.
Or just like we used to say in the Army, if you are not a part of if you're a part of the problem, you're either part of the problem or you're part of the solution.
Right. And don't bring me no science project.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't come talking to me with your hands. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I need this. You know what I'm saying? Because like if you're gonna complain and you're not you're contributing, but you're not really contributing. You contributed in a counterintuitive, counterproductive way.
Kind of like being in a hole.
Yeah.
People digging the way out. You got other people just keep throwing the dirt. I dug this hole, and here you come and take your dirt and throw your dirt back.
If you're in a hole, first thing you do is stop. But a lot of people don't recognize they're in a hole.
And you know, that's getting to, and that's, you know, another reason why I chose my profession was being able to get to those people who I see it, but I don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just like I had when it came to learning myself.
Yeah.
People used to come to me and tell me all the time, you are very condescending. Please, not me. Me condescending? Then one day I had the opportunity to actually, you know, we'll call it out of body experience. Right? We'll play with the mystical arts.
Okay.
We'll call it an out of body experience.
Let's do it.
I had a recruiter.
Mm-hmm.
Now I used to always tell people, you cannot recruit and dislike the Army. It's just not going to work.
Can't do both.
You can't. You're going to have to figure it out. And so I had another recruiter who had an applicant, and this other recruiter just kept throwing in like little stuff. Oh man, you know, Iraq, because of course you're in Iraq. You're gonna go over to Iraq and die. What's girl? Did you really just hey, come here, partner?
You said that?
Yeah. I mean, he just anything that was negative that he could say, he was every time that recruiter said something, this other recruiter wanted to throw in something negative about his experience. By his first of all, that's that person's applicant. You have no business talking to that applicant.
Yeah, it's pretty hateful.
Mind your business. Mm-hmm. So I was like, come here, you know, come in my office, come talk to me. And I laid it to him. But when I had that out-of-body experience, the way that I was talking to him, I would have knocked somebody out for talking. And it was extremely condescending.
Yeah.
And at that moment, I was like, I heard it. I was like,
yeah,
yo, that is what, aha. So when people say that about me, and, you know, it's always the theory that, you know, 99 people say you one way.
Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah, I got a similar exercise I have. Somebody calls you a douchebag 29 days in a row. On that 30th day, you might look in the mirror.
Might get up.
Yeah, it might be accurate.
You know, and so it was. I will tell people sometimes you have to listen to your own voice before you go listening to everybody else's. Mm-hmm. You have to clean your own house. So once I realized that, yes, I have the capacity, because I was like, you know, now I understand what people meant by you are very condescending. Oh, because I tend to get, you know, very professional when you tick me off. Then all of a sudden,
but that's your control and
right.
Yeah, you know, I get it.
So
it's like the person holding the hands, you know.
Like, okay, we've got right. But having to learn when you are working with other people. Like, I'm not here for the butt hurts. I'm not here for the, you know, giving you feelings, because what I say is what I say. How you choose to take it is upon you.
Yeah.
But what I have is not what you say, it's how you say it. And that's where I had to learn that I still could have said to him everything that I was saying.
Yeah.
Without that superiority in my voice.
Yeah. And
he wasn't going to receive it. It don't matter, really.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to receive
But you still had to deliver it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
he wouldn't, if I'd have said it positively, he would have still taken it because I was getting in his behind.
Yeah.
So it was just basically a exercise for myself.
Keep it professional.
You know, recognizing for myself that sometimes when you talk to people, so I always tell my kids, you all can come tell me, you can always come talk to me. But it's not what you say, it's how you say it. You fool around and you know, and then you get popped upside your head. Well, how to control the tone.
Yeah.
Well, usually once I take out, I'm about to get in your tail. I have to take it out.
Yeah. I
have to take it out. So if that requires me, I always tell people, if I walk off from you in the middle of a discussion, heated argument, whatever, right, I'm doing you a favor. Because I'm going to get control of myself.
Yeah.
So until I can come back, because, you know, there's a sender and there's a receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So right now I'm going to be the sender.
Yeah.
And you're going to be the receiver. So until I can say things to you that are conducive to the conversation that we're having.
And the solution we're trying to get to.
Until I can do that, there's no sense in me coming to talk to you.
Look, that's a necessary thing, like that everybody needs to have, because like, you know how hard that is to come to on your own and then try to go back and correct some things, and you just can't do it.
And mind you, this was in my late 20s, so after I had already almost a decade of development,
bruise some people up, along the way.
Developed. So even now, being at a higher echelon, having kids underneath me, students underneath me,
evolving.
Yes, you know, right? It's that evolution of woman.
Yes.
Because I know now, okay, I cannot talk. Some people I can talk to because they just don't understand.
So
And that's okay.
yeah.
But I still won't do that to them.
Correct.
Because that's taking advantage of people for not having the varietal knowledge to know when somebody's being sarcastic, condescending, or XYZ.
Yeah, exactly.
And I would never want anybody to take advantage of me, although I find it quite hard, but I'm not. I'm human. Yeah. I'm human, and I'm not saying it's impossible.
Yeah.
You know? So, and I don't want anybody out there trying to take, you know, I would hope that people would not want to take advantage of my children, you know?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So, learning how to, I know I talk loud. I am a very loud person. Mm-hmm. I'm half deaf. Yeah. So, what I think is normal,
it ain't the
why
same.
are you hollering? But I'm not.
I don't think she wants to holler.
Right. You know? I'm like, this is not holler.
Yeah.
I can show you when I get loud. Like, this is, I can tell you when I get to the loud. So it is the thing of, and that's even, and like you said, this is not just for me, it's for everybody. Because far more conversations would have had different results, different endings. Yep. If the sender and the receiver on both ends, both ways, would have been able to control their tone of voice. Because there's a difference between me going, now, Victor, look.
Yeah, big difference.
Victor.
Yeah.
Bruh. Mm-hmm. This book. Yep. We're going to have a conversation. Yep. Because you have some things in there. Yeah. That I don't agree with.
Yeah, exactly.
Between, hey, look. Yeah. What you put up in that book is just hot garbage. I don't agree with some of the things. Right. So depending upon my tone of voice when I come to you, depends upon how you're going to respond back to me. Right. Regardless of what any element that you may be in, how controlled you may be. Because you would receive my message better if I say, Victor, I have I read your book and there are just a few things in there that I did not agree with. You'll receive that better than, Victor, there's a couple of things in your book I did not agree with.
I would like texting too.
You know, show me what you're talking about. And then it's like, oh, well, and then there's, well, if I had written that book, yeah, there's things I don't agree with. So let me break it down for you. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, now you want to talk about, oh.
Yeah, not, yeah.
Oh, okay. So, people, so it's, when you're using those, and
well, you're being manipulative.
Exactly. Yeah. That too. And being condescending.
That's part of the manipulation process.
Yes.
And that's when you recognize when somebody can say, I can see how you might be a bully or something like that. But you got the same journey everybody else has in terms of time. Mm-hmm. The elements and the variables within that you cannot control. Mm-hmm. So you cannot help the person that you are up until a certain point. Mm-hmm. And then that's the point of change, and that's the point of evolution.
Right.
So it's not just, we're not changing anymore. We are evolving. Mm-hmm. So we have to use the words that speak to where we want to be.
And I think people misconstrue change with evolution.
Change is sudden.
Exactly.
Left, right, real quick. We were just going straight. Spot. Boom. Yeah. And evolution is a curve, a long curve, and it looks straight in a lot of spots.
Took a while. Yep. Might have dipped. Yep. Come back up. Flat line for a little bit.
But it's still going in a direction.
And heading somewhere to an eventual point.
And scaling.
And scaling. Yep. And that's, trying to get people to understand that. My changes today is still not my evolution.
Man.
Because who will I be at the end of this year?
Man, who knows?
Next year?
Man, we're in a way different spot now than what we ever were. So, that's why, when you look at what you used to do just 5 years ago, a lot of people, if you went back 30 years and asked that question, a lot of people were still doing the same thing that they was doing, for that span of time. And the people that are able to move around and change their people, places, and things mm-hmm. have grown. Mm-hmm. So in an evolution, migration is a big part of that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? In order to stay out here longer, so getting out, it's not like you talked about having to get out of the house. It's not just getting out of the house, it's getting out of your own head.
Out your comfort zone.
Yeah, out of your comfort zone. Out You see what I'm saying? Is it's got to be tied to anything that you can be boxed in on. If you had to fight for your identity in that case, so evolution and the evolved people within it know that there's a former version of themselves. So they always recognize being kind going forward.
Right. It's like I did this back then. And you hear people all the time, oh, well, if I was who I used to be, well then clearly you and I always tell people, well, clearly you still have not made the steps.
Because you didn't acknowledge that person.
Exactly, that you thought you made.
Yeah, how you gonna acknowledge something that don't exist?
If that's not you.
If it's not you. Why are we acknowledging it then?
Right, why are we bringing it back up?
So yeah.
And honestly, at the end of the day, outside of you getting knocked upside your head, what does that have to do with what we're doing right now? If I was how I used to be, well, let's get to how you used to be then, and let's see what happens.
Well, the version of you that used to be, is that version useful for what we're doing? That's typically the way I look at it. Like, how do we ask the same question, without offending people? And we got to look for ways to have an elevated dialogue. Like what comes out of people arguing about shoes and fashion?
Well,
a low frequency outcome.
Well, it's low frequency.
It's low frequency, but depending on where it's at.
Yes. And
at the consumer level is different than the CEO corporate level. You know what I'm saying?
Well, like you and I arguing over fashion will definitely be low vibrational.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I always tell people you can only argue at the level that you're at.
Yeah.
So if you're only
you can only argue from the level of where you are. That's you can only afford the arguments.
Because if you're only shine, I keep getting I'm old and I be using all these old words, can't use stuff. But if your only shine is, oh, you busted, you got on that raggedy, you got on and one shorts, and you got on some Shaq shoes, if that is your only claim to fame, that everything on your body, which if you don't understand the devaluation of items and things of such, like sweetie, if you took that off right now, you could not sell that at the price
at all
that you bought it for.
You almost have to pay to give it away.
Yeah. Depending on, even at most, at best, because I know a lot of stars that do, they sell down the stuff. They'll go out there and sell their Louis Vuitton, Gucci bags, things of the like or whatever. And, people go, oh, girl, I snatched this up. Okay, so she sold it to you for $1,500. What can you sell it for?
You got the same value.
I mean, there's very few key pieces of any type of fashion that hold. And when it comes down to value, and like I tell people, you live in an apartment, but you got 15, you know what I'm saying? You live in an apartment. There's nothing wrong with living in an apartment. I always tell people, there's nothing wrong with living in an apartment.
Yeah.
But if your, only claim is that your shoes, your red bottoms cost you $500, sweetheart, that's $500 you could have been putting down towards a house. Now, I understand that everybody's not meant to be a homeowner.
That's true too. Yeah.
We're pushing homeownership and stuff like that. But again, that's where it comes down to. You can only argue at the level that you're at. Home ownership, people, I don't want to own a home because there's a lot of work to do.
Well, like you got to go do a lot of work. Those people that have yet to, I guess, cross that threshold, because I always think that they are working towards it, because people have to change their mindset. But if they want better, you know what I'm saying? Like, they'll do integrated things in that process. Everybody don't want the same thing. And different is not bad.
No. Somebody got to rent, because if they don't rent it, what you and I going to do?
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with renters. But like I tell people, when it becomes an issue is when you are, talking about all this materialism that you have.
Yeah.
But you don't even honestly hold your housing future in your hand.
At all.
Because if your landlord decides that I want to sell my house, all it takes is just a trip to the courthouse. That's what a lot of people don't understand is the logistics. Oh, they can't put me out. Oh, baby, yes, they can. Okay. Now, granted, they have to give you time, but that's nothing but a trip to the courthouse.
Yeah. They can
signing up some documents. You got 30 days.
Yep.
get it stamped, signed, and approved, and go in front of the judge and boom, bam, boom, baby. You got 30 days to figure out where you're gonna be.
Yeah, that's very true.
So that's where I make that distinction of like I said, it's nothing wrong with renting, but that's where you make that distinction of when people are only arguing at the level that they are ready for or that they're at.
Yeah.
Because that's all you can do. Like
mm-hmm.
it would defeat the purpose. People always go, well, I always hear people, I have this, I have that. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Or just like when I'm talking to couples, and I tell my couples, describe your mate for me.
Mm-hmm.
And oh well, she's beautiful. Or, he fine. You know what I'm saying? He take care of his hair.
Mm-hmm.
He took care of me when I was down, and
mm-hmm.
or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
People only speak to your characteristics, but they don't speak to you. I very rarely hear somebody come in. Well, what I love about this woman is she when I come in the room, she brightens it up for me no matter what it is. Okay, she's my headspace. She don't speak to any of the characteristics of you.
Yeah,
and I said
they think about what you do.
Right, this on the superficial level.
Superficial.
This is what it is on the superficial level. Then I go, okay, so what's so worried about that? Because you can find that anywhere. Truth be told.
Yeah.
You can, like we tell people, you out here trauma bonding with people.
Yeah.
Oh, she held me down when I was, sweetheart, you would have went to any other woman that would have held you down.
If it was in a hold me down situation.
You trauma bonded with somebody, that person trauma bonded with you.
Mm-hmm.
They held you down, and now that you have gone and gotten up and gotten your stuff
together, they still hold you down.
Right. And that's why you always hear those arguments. I always tell people.
In a negative way.
Right. All that stuff I did for you, all them years, 10 years I've been up. Look, baby, what didn't
I call that the invoice in the deposition.
Mm-hmm.
When you got to start running down a list of things you've done, you already over with.
Yeah.
Like you got to talk about your problems without talking about what you did. You know what I'm saying? And what was natural to the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You don't bring up the deeds unless it's tied to having a conversation about how do we move past this.
Right.
Not in a flex. You can't flex then. That's not how you fix it.
Yeah, so that was what I was looking for, flex.
Yeah.
I couldn't get it out.
You can't. You gotta know when and where to flex. And you gotta flex in a good way.
And flex in a manner that's going to still propel you forward.
Yep.
I was like, you people get out here and we flexing out all of this superficial stuff that we have, we own, we do, da 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 da.
Man.
But where has that moved you to?
Man, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and put my other screen up here because I want to tell people where to go get the book. Here we go. All right, y'all see that? If you go and scroll, you'll see where it says purchase my first book, the code. Yep. Check that out. And I mess around with the little studio features and stuff. So I'm gonna mute the mic for a little bit. I want you guys to click on my link tree. And we'll go to the screen that's over there and check it out. And check out some of the other things I got going on. And, stay tuned with me for a second. I'm going to go get my book, read a little bit out of it. And, yep, we're going to stay tuned.
Because one of the things that
So we're talking about, you guys missed part of the conversation. We were off camera, you know what I'm saying, decided to come on back, read a little bit out of the book, but we were talking about more about the evolution process. And when you come to these moments of enlightenment and you got to make a decision, now you got new information, and it forces you to make a decision. And the decision you make is still rooted in survival. And then when you take into account like all of the conversation we had about life being about really about math, you know, the concept of math. Not saying you got to actually sit down and do the calculation of it, but you instinctively move in a way that can be dissected with down to the decimal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where you made a miscalculation. So when you recognize a miscalculation, that's your opportunity to reprogram yourself.
Right. And move forward. Along, with, negatives and bad.
Yeah.
Because like, as I was saying earlier, one, I had to prove to myself that I was worthy of the things that I wanted. And then when it comes to, because I honestly, I said, everybody always says sometimes you have to come down. And I'm like, well, I'm not coming down because,
a
man has to have this, and everybody has a laundry list of characteristics, things that they want out of a mate.
But do they qualify for it?
Right, but do you qualify for it? And so one of the things that I noticed and recognized, was that, again, I can't ask anybody to build with me what I do not possess myself.
Yeah.
But because I still have to struggle to be heard in a world that does not want to hear from me.
Yes.
Now, people get upset and I'm okay with it. That's fine. You'll survive in the morning.
Yeah.
You've got Black men, topics of, or situations facing, I should say.
Yes.
Facing America.
Understood.
Okay. Patriarchy, white male fragility, Black male fragility, Black men, white women. So where do the rest of us go? And everybody, oh, you are, no. I said, let me, this isn't
it's not a competition.
Right. It's not a competition.
It's about recognizing other people's variables so you can try to find a way to get a better perspective before you open your mouth.
Because I said, as a Black woman, I have to fight just to be recognized in my own space. Not Black men don't. Not the Black men
but
do
you
not.
Still got the same fight that nobody else can fight but you.
Right. And like most Black women, we all have to fight to be in our own spaces. We are required to do things and be things that everybody just automatically assumes that we should take the mantle up of. But as a Black woman trying to lead in a Black male world, I still would probably, if I did not fight, because and I always tell people, you have to also have and by education, I don't mean book-wise. I will say not just common sense, but you have to be able to go. You can't just say, well, I make 50 cents less than a male in my position.
Yeah.
You have to be able to express why that is. Okay, where does that come down at? Just you standing up and saying, well,
if you can't quantify it.
Exactly.
Because now you're just another loud agitator.
Right, making noise.
Yeah, and nobody is getting the information that they could probably, like if they knew, they'd probably get in the fight.
Right.
They probably help.
And say, oh, this is why.
Because you might change somebody's perspective. So like, yes, you have to have informed complaints.
Because I know in the Army, I was ammunition.
Yeah.
In the beginning, before I reclassed, I was an ammo dog. Forklifts, all the stuff. Oh, man, you know what I'm saying? And it was a constant fight to have to tell people, I got up and put my BDUs on. Yes, I said BDUs, not that new stuff they got.
Yeah, I know.
I had to fight to put my BDUs, my woodlands, on. I had to get up every morning just like you did. So now when it comes down to, well, why don't y'all girls go over there and go count? And hold fast. I went to the same training, did the same thing, listening to people tell me all the time, oh, you females, you wouldn't be able to do this. I'm a guy. So when you're built upon those type of negative connotations,
just
in your
resistance,
life, you do have to come out swinging.
Yeah.
And yes, so there are a lot of women whom, when they get to that status quo level, baby, look, I am the boss.
Yeah.
A lot of us have gotten out of, hey, I work to, no, sweetheart, I am the boss. And when a lot of us get out of that, what we start to realize is that a lot of the people that we were going for are not. In fact, you asked that question the other day.
Yeah.
About being out of somebody's league.
Yeah.
And before I started, because of course in the Army we not rich. You know what I'm saying? We not rich, we not poor. I remember dating a second lieutenant.
Yeah.
And we had to keep it on the hush hush. Back then, there was no fraternization. Hey, they would have nailed you hard for it. But it wasn't just that. When he explained to me, basically, it just came down to rank in education. And the way that he, kind of like voiced himself to me was like, so wait a minute here. Not that I was technically out of his league, but I was out of his league because he had a degree.
Yeah.
I was working on mine.
Yeah.
So that right there already.
That's that point of separation.
Right.
If it's important to the other person.
Exactly.
Then that person determines.
Because how do I take you home to my family who are all doctors, lawyers, chiropractors, everybody just degreed up. Mom and daddy, successful lawyers, dentists, doctors, and things
especially
like
if they come from a very ethnic family. Like I know some Nigerian families that are like that.
Oh, my son.
Yes.
Down south.
Yeah.
Louisiana.
Yeah.
Okay, where you got your debutantes, your cotillions, and we talking about old black money. That's why when I hear people say that black people hold fast.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, there are some families that are rooted deep in black money. Economically. Their names hold a lot of weight when you say it, when you think about it, X, Y, Z. So
that's algebra too.
And it is. And so when it came to me, like I said, I wasn't out of his league, but I was out of the league that he thought he was in.
Yeah. Yeah, I understood. Yeah.
So what that said to me was that in order for me to date where I feel I'm at, which is up here, so I could stop scooting around with the brothers in the trash down here, that means I had to prepare myself, which means that I got to make more money.
You got to get in the same spectrum with those people.
Exactly. And now I'm in the same spectrum with everybody. I'm like, hold on, I done surpassed half of all of y'all.
Yeah.
And what's even crazier is that getting into those spaces and you go out here and you go get average Janae.
Yeah.
And now I'm pissed off because I'm like, I didn't came hard.
Yeah, because that's where you think you should have been.
Where I should have been. And that's where what you said earlier, as far as, a lot of guys don't want to date women who, work these, high maintenance jobs and things like that.
Yeah.
But it's because they're at that point in their lives where they're still trying to get to where they feel this is where I should be.
Understood. They still. Absolutely.
And of course, black women and where our status quo is being condescending. I can look down on you when like women when it come into Burger King have a whole attitude.
Right.
Hold on, baby. You at Burger King fighting over an $8.99 meal.
Low frequency meal.
Exactly. Like low vibrational meal. In fact, I probably dropped this on the floor meal. No, I never did this, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But you want to come in here with all of your audacity.
Yeah, free.
The audacity. And fuss, moan, complain. I'ma call up to the top. Call who you want to call.
Yeah.
Because yo young at first of all, and because I do look young, so people are always, which are you okay, that's fine. I want to keep looking young. I don't want anybody to come like, yeah, you look like you about 44, that about work. I don't ever want that. But your willingness to want to come from off your high stool down here to try to belittle and berate me because you feel like I'm down and out.
That's illusory superiority.
Exactly. Yep. Until you get pulled over that counter.
Yeah.
And have a couple of things explained to you in a language that I would hope, since you're all the way up the top of the mountain, would understand. So take your 3 and 4 words, okay? Your 4 little letter word vocabulary, move around.
See that? It's conflict resolution right there. And that's part of, the conversation about evolving. We got to find ways to weaponize our anger
Mm-hmm.
because it's got to go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to point it at something.
Right. Which mine's
Mm-hmm.
evolving was to take all of that, you know, patriarchy, you know, all of that mess, and said, okay,
That's
I'm
your
gonna take
reference
all of
point.
this.
That's what I
Exactly.
learned from
I can't be here no more.
KB anymore.
So now I'm no longer threatened. See,
Yeah.
back then I was threatened.
Yeah.
Now I'm in a space and a place where I'm no longer threatened when somebody comes and says to me as a woman, a black woman, whatever, what I can do, what I can't do. Because now, like I always ask people, everybody keep talking about these damn tables. And some of y'all got some rick rackety tables. Some of y'all tables are sitting on phone books while you out here talking about what can you bring to the table. Hell, some of them tables are rented while you're playing. And that table can be taken away. I said, I actually hate that term when, you know, people approach with, well, what can you bring to the table? Not a damn thing.
Man, look, like, you know, when you hear that conversation and you don't even get in it, then that's when you know.
I just want.
Yeah, you're like, oh, they're still talking about tables.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool.
Like I know some ornate table makers.
Yeah.
You know.
So I want to read a passage out of the book, The Code, and it's available on Amazon. You know, and matter of fact, I'm gonna go. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and add this to the stream right now, so you guys can go ahead and scroll to it. You can hear me, and you know what I'm saying, click on the link and go check it out. So this is the beginning of chapter 6, and I just stuck my thumb in the book, and you know, and it landed here. And this one is about become the leader that you've been waiting for. So it opens up. In the previous segment, I stated this: the reinforcement of negative conditioning has enabled us to assign values to intangible and irresponsible practices that are being used as metrics for authenticity. The people that are validating this authenticity are usually in positions of influence or control that can affect the qualities of life in that particular community in terms of providing access to education and social services. These same people are born in the same places of social poverty and have been held to some level of high esteem by local accounts. The people that fit the descriptions above are peers of troubled youth who've run out of options. Their influence is rooted in preserving a cycle of squalor and ineptitude. These are the people that we need to isolate within our communities by avoiding them at all costs. We should avoid diverting energy to those who do not care about adding value to us. So, it, in the way that I wrote that, it was more about abandoning bad behavior, you know, but not shaming people that don't recognize that their behavior isn't conducive to becoming more peaceful. You know what I'm saying, for where we're trying to go in life. Because I don't know about you, I want to get old, and I want to get old where I'm safe.
Yeah.
So I got to do the work now to make sure that I'm safe in my old age, versus wait till I get old and didn't do anything and then complain about what's happening now. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a big evolution fall off point, because like right now we're the ages of what maybe our grandparents would have been. You know what I'm saying? Where they still had to hustle, grind, and work so much differently. You know what I'm saying? Had so many more kids and they could afford them. The food was different. You know what I'm saying? Healthcare was different. And an approach to staying healthy might have been different too. Who knows?
Right.
But way too many variables just to box it into my thought. But just considering the time, we don't have anything, you know what I'm saying, holding us back. It's time for us to really, really be the leaders that we've been waiting on. Because we've already learned from it. We got more resources and we know the story. Now we got it boxed up, put to the back. You know what I'm saying? We know where it went. We know where it came from. We know where it was taking us. It's time for us to be the leaders that we've been waiting on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's time for us to be the leaders that we learned from, because energy comes with that.
Right.
And it never dies. You just recycle it. You know what I'm saying? Grab onto it and we use it for the right reasons. You know, and if anything, you should just want to get old with the best people around you.
Right.
Right. So doing the work right now, extremely important. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we have to, continue on with the groundwork, I should say. I know everybody loves to talk about, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, everybody like that. All of the high, visible, highly visible people out there doing the work. And yes. I'm like, but there's still grassroots, okay?
Yeah.
You had two enigmatic men, two enigmatic people come through and, usher in a lot of pathways that were already being done by other people.
Yeah.
And, of course, the more enigmatic that you are, people tend to flock to certain voices, certain aspects and stuff like that. Like you have to look the part.
Yeah, absolutely.
Per se, to get to certain people.
Yeah, you do.
Like you can't walk in the hood because, like I said, I remember as a recruiter, I couldn't dress in my best going to what we consider to be the hood.
Yeah. Because
to them, oh, you just came out here to show out.
Right.
You're not, although I was like, no, I'm coming to show you what you can do, what you can be, even though we've only driving Chrysler Seabrings back then. But hey, them were some nice cars, okay? Move fast, look good, because, the Army, they spend that money on, the materialistic side. It just is what it is. But when you go certain places, people tend to, if we looked how we look now, most people would be like, yeah, if we went somewhere, suit ties,
Yeah.
So, like you said, being the leader, and I think what a lot of people don't understand about themselves is that there's different types of leadership.
Yep.
They think leaders are, I'm standing at the front and I'm running it down and I'm the mantle and, I'm the face for it and everything else, without understanding that you can lead just as well from the back.
Yep.
In the middle, because somebody got to get everybody in the back. If I'm at the front, well, who's getting out? Because everybody in the back, you know what I'm saying? If we got 75,000 followers, only 15,000 of those people in the front are going to hear me.
Yeah.
Even when you go to a concert, you go to a concert and they, huge speakers and everything. How much do you have to, if you know the songs, of course, when the song comes on, XYZ.
And that was part of the reason why I chose the stages of getting the message out that I chose. Like I wrote the book first. Then, I let it simmer. I let it build. I wasn't ready to push it. You know what I'm saying? And then the time I had like the podcast, and I was promoting the book, but I was just promoting the conversation amongst like-minded people more than anything, and letting the book be the imagery for a while, because I want to stir the conversation. You know what I'm saying? And then as I'm learning about what I'm doing and how I want to point it, because I have organic good intentions, and what I'm saying, I got good people around me. I have no malice towards nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm in a place where everybody's from everywhere else, so we don't have high school beefs. You know what I'm saying? We don't know each other. You know what I'm saying? Issues. Exactly. So that's an advantage, though.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas like most people are like, I don't want to go nowhere where I don't know anybody. But we're part of the evolution. You know what I'm saying? Because we're telling this story in real time, and it's not just us that are like that. It's everybody else that's connected to us too, simply based on the community itself. But we just come across so many different people of different paths in this area that we see the advantage of it, because we've had time and distance away from where we're from to see like, wow, they really compete more than they complement each other more back at home. You know what I'm saying? And then in competing with each other, it's impossible to have ways to have sustained support. And I don't know if you can ever earn that, but that don't mean that that's a bad thing. You know what I'm saying?
There has to be some competition.
There has to be some competition because,
but
like,
not competition within the movement.
Exactly. Yeah, it has to be balanced.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a difference between being a fan and then a supporter.
Right.
You know, like you can still be a supporter. You know what I'm saying?
A fan
yeah.
and a support. A fan is just somebody. Hey, when they see you, they see you.
They see you. They
Yay,
see you. Yeah.
They, you know what I'm saying? They give you all the accolades and all the praise and stuff like that when they see you.
Yeah.
A supporter will support you in your face and when you're not in their face.
Absolutely.
And those are the people who support. And trying to get people to understand that support doesn't. Because what do I have? People go, well, what do I have to offer? I don't know. What do you have? You got some food?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Can you cook? Because
Mm-hmm.
hell, we doing food drives out here. You know what I'm saying? You got some canned goods?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I do. Well, thank you very much. You just supported the movement.
Yep.
You have what you have. You don't always have to have the mouthpiece. You don't have to be the most eloquent and have the largest vocabulary that you can possibly think of. Because honestly, ostentatious and things like that.
They don't have no
really listening to that.
No.
Like that sounds good in a dissertation, but at the end of the day,
it sounds like a rapper.
Yeah, average Joe don't care.
Yeah.
Okay, average Joe does not care about
ostentatious.
Yes, my large vocabulary, and was again evolving.
Yeah.
Learning that wow, I've got all of these gifts.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, one of them is having this vocabulary that everybody just and half of the time when I'm talking to people, they're like, for what?
Man, look, Korean that showed up. I'm here now. You know what I'm saying? He'll be misspelling the name on the pod.
Jacking up,
you know
everybody.
What I'm saying? Just come in, just saying whatever you want to say. What's up, brother? So, we're here talking about evolution, man. You know what I'm saying? How we getting better. And speaking about where we want to be and where we, like how we see our future playing out, and we getting a chance to do that real time.
I got a question for you.
Okay, let's do it.
We do a lot of talk.
Yeah.
About solutions.
Mm-hmm.
What is our call to action?
That's a good one. I think this is it. I'm part of the call to action. Like, you're part of the call to action, and everybody connected with us is part of that. Because why bring it up if it's not a call to action? It's drawing attention to it, and people that's supposed to act, they already acted.
Sure.
Yeah. So, like, the people that are on the fence, they're probably going to criticize it until they understand it, until they experience something that triggers them to say, I get it, I understand, and that's why we can't shame people that's not ready to participate the way we want them to participate. Like, I make up phrases to myself all the time, and one of the ones I say is that I don't give advice to people that don't have their hands raised because they're not willing to listen to it. Think about every time you went to the store, and as soon as you get to the store after you got your cart and get your little list sorted out, somebody from DirecTV trying to get you to sign up. You're like, man, I didn't come here to get no cable.
I wanted that. I'd have came.
If I'd have called you.
I'd have called for y'all.
And then you get past that, then somebody jump out from Reliant Energy. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get you to switch your power. Yeah, exactly. I didn't come here for that. That has nothing to do with this grocery problem that I'm trying to solve right now.
And I'm trying to get home so I can cook dinner. And I can take up 30 minutes of your time and still
and not do it.
Not sign up for it.
But people have been employed to get in people's space and disregard their time. Like, I'm so appreciative of other people's time that I text first. Say, hey, you busy? You know what I'm saying? Can you talk? Or whatever, or I've gotten better at using my technology to set reminders, you know what I'm saying, and call people back, because I get a lot of calls that I can't take when I'm, in the course of doing business, because I value the time that person took to bring me up. He said, you know how much you get us?
I want 15,000.
You want about 15,000?
Yeah, what did we say? I want 50,000.
You should have just came on up here. You know what I'm saying?
All that Twitter fingers you got going on.
Yeah, revolutionary in the comments. Come on over here, man.
Revolution.
Yeah, but like,
and the reason why I asked you that was not for redundancy.
Understood.
What we're doing, because I understand that we are the call to action. You
just having the conversation.
Contacted me, but I want other people to understand how they can be the call to action and what the call to action is, because you hit me up. Yep. Didn't ask me really to, you know what I'm saying? Ask me a few things. That was my call to me. That was the call to action to get into, okay, I see, you know what I'm saying? That's my brother. Let me go ahead and get on board with what he's got going on. Because now we can start connecting the dots. Connect the dots to what you're doing. Connect the dots to what I'm doing. Yeah. And I just wanted people to understand what a call to action can be. A call to action is not always me saying, call me now. Yeah. I'm not Miss Cleo. Yeah. That is not always what a call to action is. Yeah. Sometimes a call to action is nothing more than, is it DM, PM?
It doesn't even matter.
Whatever.
Yeah, both.
Is a message, a text message, a DM, a PM.
Direct communication.
That simply stated something.
Yes.
Now, it puts you where you're at. I'm either wanting to be a part or I don't want to be a part.
Now you got a decision.
Now you made a decision. No, I've been telling you, I'm going to come up here. I said, you know what? I was upstairs on my computer designing.
Yeah. What you been working on?
This time right now, I've got, I just finally learned Photoshop and GIMP.
Okay.
Yay me. Yeah, I finally learned it. So now I can start doing more intricate designs of my own, custom designs of my own, instead of relying on other people to, you know, so now when I go on Google and I pull down an image, I can convert it to whatever I want it to be now, because I know how to use it.
What's your goal with that?
At this point, right now, is to just continue learning.
Just learning right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
trying to see how creative you can get with it.
Well, I need to be able to perfect it.
Understood.
You know, like I learned how to do stuff one day. Remember how we talked about being a jack of all trades? Yeah. So this is, you know, in order to prepare my business to where I want it to be, because I want to start offering custom designs. Yeah. I am an infant in the Photoshop, you know, designing, had to forget monster. You know, I'm an infant in the designing community.
Understood. Yeah.
You know, I'm an infant. Yeah. So I'm still, because it was never something I was honestly interested in until I realized I am spending more money asking other people to send me, create for me, do for me, which nothing wrong with that, because sometimes
that's still tuition and learning.
Right. I don't have the time to always sit down and create. So if you can design it faster than I can, I'm gonna call you up and have you design it for me. But I'm now expanding my business to start doing transfers and things that are like, I love vinyl still, but I'm starting to take my business, because that is the next thing. My next goal is to get a DTF, which is direct to fabric garment machine. That is what I want. But instead of having to always call somebody else and say, hey, can you design XYZ? I can do my own. And when it comes down to customization, see, I think people also kind of get mad what customization is. Like, your symbol is a customization. Yeah. That is customized. Yeah. It is not the basic. It's not the Nike symbol, Jordan symbol, or nothing like that. So when it comes down to
get ready to buy the merch,
and it's nice. I look.
Get ready to buy.
I
the
like
merch.
That white. I need the hoodie for it. Yeah. You only got the pants.
Yeah, no, the hoodie over there.
Is it over there?
It's a collar. It's a collar over there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that one's definitely got the hood on. Will.
I can look at that. Yeah. It's nice. So be prepared. So understanding, you know, the difference between, you know, stuff that you can get off and customization. Yeah. And, you know, now that I'm starting to have more clients who are coming in and looking for the out of the ordinary, you know, make me up something that nobody else has. Well, if I can't customize it for you, and like I said, I can pay somebody else to do it. But that's money out of my pocket.
Man, you ain't gotta do that. You just tell them to come buy my merch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I already got something new for them, something unique. You know what I'm saying?
I like it on there. I was looking at that glitter. I was like, this sounds like something I could walk around in the wintertime. This looks good.
Hey, I'm happy about it. Like, just like you, and I think you're looking at it more from the manufacturing lens, because you want to be able to control it from a vertical, from the complete ground floor.
I'm doing algebra.
Yeah, you're doing algebra.
Doing my algebra.
You're choosing your
algebraic.
You're choosing your algebraic expression in that situation, and that's good, because everybody don't want to do that math.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't. I like the more that I understand myself, the I think the more motivated I am to hurry up and grab whatever it is I'm trying to possess, learn it, and then let it go, and then build, create, and then get out of the way because somebody else is smarter than me already here. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's probably gonna come in and fix what I didn't do the right way is already here. So I gotta hurry up and get out of the way so it can grow for the right reasons.
Right.
I don't want to control nothing. You know, that's
this is my baby. Because even when I go to brand myself, I have been going over, I've come up with like at least, and it's sad, 30 different branding concepts of, you know, because I go through and I'm like, you know, think about who I am, and what I want my brand to convey. You know, what do I want it to say about me? You know, how do I get it out there to where people are going to want to put this on their chest? Then I rebranded my name, you know, went back. So it's for me. For me, this is my baby. So I have to work it from the ground up. I have to know, because, you know, this is actually one of the very few things that I would want to have total, complete control over, that nobody else can say I did. You know, like, oh, I did that for her. No, I did this for myself.
Yeah, some things you definitely got to do that, which goes back to incompletion. Remember we discussed that before?
We'll discuss that mouse.
Oh, this mouse is like,
yeah, I see.
Yeah, that's terrible. Hey, look, I saw the way you gave the eye twitch.
I was trying. I was like, wait,
look, man, look. Okay. This is what we work. Hey, see, that's why that Cash App is on the bottom of the screen. Like, y'all need to be putting some money. Like, look at my mouse, man.
Look at the mouse. Yeah,
it's butt naked, y'all. Man, look, but the mouse is not reflective of the way of the person, of the user. You know what I'm saying?
But what it also still shows is that you can have very little and still go big.
Man, come on now. You know, like look how this thing is laid out, right? And then this is what I'm operating with.
Yeah, I was like,
it's balanced.
I looked over it like 4 times and I was like, oh, that's neat. Then I put an eye on it. I thought it was something high tech. I was like, whole face.
Look, and then there wasn't even nothing that really truly violently happened to this mouse. It just it got bumped, and then it got his back blown off. You know what I'm saying?
Made in China.
Yeah, straight up.
Blew its back out.
Yeah, man. Look,
but yes, but that's why I asked about a call to action.
Yeah.
You know, was so that other people can start formulating what is a call to action to them look like? What is a call to action when they're called to it?
Yeah.
How do you know that you're called to that action? You know? So understanding where we're at, but to be able to have other people say, because somebody just said, I don't know if he was, you know, and that was in response to what I said, but good question.
Yeah.
Because you got, you know, some people who watch this later.
Shout out to Kevin, you know what I'm saying? Big B Nation. What's going on? No question about it. Promotions. What's good?
You know, what is their call to action? What does it take for you to get off your arse?
Man, you know, I'm glad that you got to that point, because I want to read another passage that I literally just have my hand in the book, and there's something that's going to come out of a conversation that's going to allow us to, you know what I'm saying, show that we're thinking about the same thing. So again, I wrote and published this book, The Code, in 2018, you know, and it's 2022. I said, reasonable Black people are grinding right now. So that's why this book is intended to rally us all to focus on lighting the path of our collective and impending success. Our goals are always first visualized and distinguishing what we can control and influence. And reasonable Black people are here because we know how to apply both concepts, and now it's time to empower others. So that's one of the solutions-based dialogue. You know, it's like the way I wrote it, it was like all the success is waiting on us. You know what I'm saying? And we're in the middle of the work that's going to produce that positive outcome, barring, of course, anything health or catastrophic. But like the reasonable progression of people that want to live better, take care of the people, it's inevitable that, what I'm saying, we're going to get to a better quality of life. And families are key to that, because families enable you to think about working for someone else other than yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So that translates out in the world. So which means you got to fix your house.
Mm-hmm.
You got to fix yourself, and you got to figure out what are you good at, because that's one of the things that a lot of people struggle with. I know you see that a lot based in your line of work, because a lot of people's ineptitude or mental, low points, when it comes down to confidence and feeling certain of themselves,
mm-hmm.
is usually coming from a place where they're not good at anything.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't completed anything, and they don't go back and finish.
Right.
Because if you can't finish something small, I don't care if it's a TV series. You know what I'm saying? Like, at a minimum, you got to complete something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Even people that are technically lazy, they might complete something more often than a person that moves around and hops all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And by completing, you have to find a way to make it add value to your quality of life.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise you just gotta, what I'm saying, I wouldn't call it a distraction, but it might just be a hobby.
Mm-hmm. Well, like we tell people with depression that they'll say, "Oh, well, I washed my hair today." Well, that's good. And simply because,
you accomplished something.
Right. You accomplished something. You finished something.
That's why I made my bed.
That was all. You had the joy, desire, the energy, the strength to do.
Yes.
Then we're going to celebrate that.
Yes.
However come.
That's a reference point.
What we're going to start doing now, we're going to start adding on. Because it is getting you out of the complacency of coming to me and getting your accolades for doing one thing.
Yeah.
So now we have to start moving you forward. If you can wash your hair today, that is great. I'm happy for you. That is, like I said, we're going to celebrate that. But what else could you have possibly done? Well, that's how I got it. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. If that's all you had the energy to do. But let me tell you other things that you did in the process of that. Because there was a process to that whole thing, to getting you started. And part of that process was, one, getting it into your head that today
you're going
to wash your hair. So you've already started the process of thinking.
Yeah.
Getting up and actually moving. So see, now you have to break down for them also that it's not just that one thing that I'm going to celebrate.
Yeah. Because
if I just celebrate that one thing, then that's what you're going to, oh, she was just happy that I washed my hair today. So 3 weeks from now, I might wash it again.
Yeah.
No, I want you to think about all the steps. You had to get up out the bed, get out. And I promise, more than likely, if you washed your hair, some soap ran down your body somewhere.
Mm-hmm. She's doing algebra, y'all.
Yes, it's algebraic equations.
Yes.
So, it's getting, like I said, just not focusing on those one things of completion. Because when you go to complete something, people who, like me, squirrel, rabbit, no, I have to focus on that. Well, congratulations today for focusing. Because that was the thing that you were missing, was the ability to concentrate and focus. Now, I'll binge watch a show all day, but I'm on my phone, on my computer, depending upon, just how interested I am in whatever. Like The Witcher, I binge watched The Witcher all the way through.
Right.
No phone, no computer, no nothing.
I haven't watched it yet.
Right. You got to. Because I just felt like if I took my eyes off of it for 1 second, I would miss something.
It was like that, huh?
Yeah, it really is. And it is. Like, you have to pay attention to the people, the action, and because I can't hear, I tend to read. I got closed caption.
I put the closed caption on too.
Yeah, and I have to read it. And if I miss something,
I like reading it. You know what I'm saying? I can hear it, but I like reading it because the words with the inflection of the actor, it does that for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When I'm watching, it makes me appreciate it.
A lot more. That's how I taught my son how to read too. I was like, "Hey, bro, you can watch TV all day. I don't even care.
Just read the bottom of the screen.
But you don't have to read that in order to understand what's going on, what's being said." So, it's getting people to get out of the complacency of, I completed one thing, so everybody celebrate me at completing this one thing. Because if that is all I'm willing to celebrate, I did not celebrate your algebraic equations to get to where you got to. You know, your math of how you came to this particular point. And, you know, like I said, we're getting people out of these stagnant states, these states of just accepting the bare minimum.
Yes.
Like I always tell people, when you come to me, you are either coming to me because you just want to talk, or you're coming to me because you are at the point where you want to solve.
Yes. And look.
And if you just want to talk, hey,
look,
go for it.
What I love about the veteran community is that it's understood, it's code, that we are people of service, and we look for work. You know, we look for the right work when we have the right time.
Right.
You know, because really everything that we do in understanding where we are is based off of money. Until you understand that money is a tool and not a goal.
Right.
Everything you do is about money. That's why the conversation is chase the bag. Is you know what I'm saying, is rooted in something that leads to money being obtained. But then once you remove the need for money, like when we had this discussion mildly, you know what I'm saying, which we'll save that for another time because I'm going to read a passage out of the book or whatever. But like in the part of evolution is recognizing that money is a tool and a resource. Now, what's the goal after you recognize that it's the tool? You see what I'm saying? Whereas before, when it was the tool to go flex and go stunt, you know, now we have an obligation to ensure our own comfort in the future because nobody's going to build that for us. Right. You know, we are late to the party and being able to build it for our grandparents. We really need to be building our own nursing homes right now. And for real. And you know what I'm saying? Our own communities. Yeah, exactly.
And not us.
And training, you know what I'm saying? And training, you know what I'm saying, people, the right people to take care of us. So that's a real thing to talk about. We're not that far away from that. But if we don't have the conversation out loud, then we just having, you know what I'm saying, the elephant in the room, you know what I'm saying? And then later on, we're going to be like, man, we should have built some nursing homes. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, what was we doing?
Some high-tech nursing homes.
So, Julia, I greatly appreciate you sitting down and hanging out with me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I know we're going to do this quite a few more times, but like, to the people that's dialed in, I greatly appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? We're approaching the end of our, you know what I'm saying, free speaking and free thought, you know what I'm saying, code talk. This is your platform too, you know, like this is about inviting reasonable people to a discussion, you know what I'm saying, that want to produce solutions, you know, having certain experiences, you know what I'm saying, that produce a level of experience that takes us further than where we are versus having the conversations about what's on our resume, you know. So I'm gonna take you guys out with this, and I want to also say shout out to my partner, Corinne. You know what I'm saying, KKMG. We coming. We got Kevin on there with no question about it. Promotions. You know what I'm saying, and you know, Big B Nation, Vita, who always is on constant interaction, sending good information, put me in good dialogue that I can witness and, you know, and take notes and perspectives on, and anybody else that I might have missed, you know. Um, Shout out to Gina, you know what I'm saying, my lady. She always, you know, keeping me, you know, whole, you know, or supporting my wholeness and adding value to my situation every day. You know what I'm saying? I love it. So also, let me go ahead and get this out here, right? We're going to close out. Now that we established baseline metrics, courses of actions, and checks and balances for ourselves and our individual behavior, we're now in a better position to add value to others around us. Our networks and relationships thrive and flourish when we decide to add to them. We all have different talents that feed others by simply being accessible through whatever means and mediums of communications. So what that means is wherever you're speaking from, do it responsibly. You know what I'm saying? Mean well and support your fellow brother, your fellow sister, because the people that are here on Code Talk, you all already on code. Ain't no other reason for you to be here. You know what I'm saying? Other than to solve problems. In order to do that, you got to be on the same sheet of music. So I look forward to talking to y'all again. Thank you for staying out with me. And this is Vic with Code Talk. Get out.
Always a pleasure, bro.
Man.